Okay, so I'm hoping to do an AMA today. Okay. So now I'll start all over again. Okay, so I'm hoping to do an AMA today. I don't know if anybody get notice of it, but in any case, I have to set up. Not much of a setup. In any case, I'll AMA if people chime in. But welcome to Writer's Life, a place where you get the sight, sound, smells, taste of my particular writer's life, and where you get the fucking truth. My mother told me to stop swearing in my videos. Subscribe if you haven't already. Punch the like button, like you're punching Don Lemon. And God, it's fucking hot here. Shit. Tap the bell for notifications so that you don't miss out on one single awesome video. So what's all this banter now about going to war with China? Don't we have our hands full with the Ukraine mess? I mean, this is just unbelievable. These people are just dying. They're dying. The present deep state, just dying for us to get into a war. They want to make Biden a wartime president, and the guy can't even remember where he was yesterday, or a week ago anyway. Mr. President, where did you go? Where did you go last? And I didn't you go to Ireland? Oh yeah, I was gonna say that. Jack, come on, man. All right, we got somebody here. The Big Philly. Vince, you mentioned recently you think writers should get some sort of trade acceptance. He means traditional, but trad. You know, if you see that term, it's just short for traditional. Acceptance before trying indie. You mean sell a short story to a traditional journal or a magazine? Well, that's one way to do it, Big Philly. You know, I mean, really, what I was saying. I mean, in the perfect world, you would get like a book deal, even if it's a reputable small press, like say Down and Out, or I don't know if they're small press anymore. Maybe they're medium sized. Doesn't matter. But like someone's like it's say an ITW or Mystery Writers Association of America accepted publisher. Get a book or two like that under your belt. Get some blurbs. Get some attention. Maybe get some multimedia attention. Unfortunately, that's the best. And even better if you could do it agented. Like so you've been accepted on two levels. Your work has been accepted on two levels as professional grade. Is that the gold standard? Yeah. And then go to indie. But, I mean, I'm just saying because I was forced to do it that way. I had no choice because I started back in the late 90s. And publishing is still stuck in the 1980s, basically. It's hurry up and wait and pray and hope and somehow try to pay the bills, right? As the years go by, do you have to do it that way? No. I mean, I don't know if like even Andy Weir, who did The Martian, and who's the other guy, who was a really successful indie guy, did the sci-fi stuff. Hugh Howey. I was thinking like the Howey test. Hugh Howey. I don't know if he ever published anything traditionally. So like, that's just an idea. Like you might want to do things traditionally first. But it's so much harder now to do things traditionally than when I first started. Like I've said before, I got $250,000 for my first book deal for 2 books, hard and soft cover, and it didn't even do audio back then. And they were giving out money like that. The publishers in New York, they were giving out deals like that, like candy. A friend of mine from Italy, she's from the U.S. She got $1 million deal, and it ruined her career. However, she got 2 major motion pictures out of it. And then I remember her telling me, like, we were having a drink in Italy, and she's like, Vince, I don't even have $8,000 in my name anymore. So like that's how bad it can go. So and I kept like pushing her to go indie, you know, and she was quite a bit older than me, and she was insisting on maintaining her traditional stance because that's all she knew. Going indie to her seemed like a failure. And I hate to say it, but you're not going to make a living unless you go indie. You're just not. I don't care what kind of book deal you get. You're just not going to make a living otherwise. At the very least, be like me, be a hybrid author. Now, I just handed in the Moonlight Falcon today, Moonlight PI book, to Down and Out. And, there's a voice inside my head saying, like, make that your last one. Make that's like, I don't know, 60 to 70 agented and traditionally published books. Maybe that's enough, maybe from now on, I just concentrate on the bare media list. Anyway, Frank, or Big Philly, I went on and on and on. But in the perfect world, you publish traditionally first and then go indie. But if you feel as though you don't need to do that, then don't. That's the short answer. Big Philly could grill you all night with questions. Go ahead. You're the only one in the room right now. Don Lemon wasn't wrong about shelf life of women. Even a queer dude knows that. Oh boy, we're gonna get yelled at for that one. I prefer writing short stories, so that approach may help me. I write shorts. I write shorts in all sorts of genres. Yeah, do it. I mean, there's still a lot of paying magazines out there. I'm just finishing up a short now called True Killer, and I think it's a killer short story. For me, it's going to end up being about 7,000 words, but there's plenty of publications that'll take 7,000 words. But me being me, I want to get this thing, out in book form immediately. You know what I mean? I don't want to wait like 6 months to a year for an acceptance or whatever. But that is definitely a way to go. Frank, what's up, Frank? I read part of your short story today after I took a nap. I loved it. Let's see. Vince, do you research your books before writing or during the writing? I know you preach and practice writing in the dark, but curious as I think about exploring new genres. Both. If I'm writing about a particular topic that I can't really start without doing some research first. Research could like be as much, it could come down to like just reading one little book or some nonfiction articles. Say it's like I don't even know. Say it's something that like one of my PI books. I need to figure out some police procedural stuff because I don't write police procedural, but like sometimes you just got to you got to do it right. That just takes a few phone calls from me to my friend Mary, and who's a colonel in the New York State Troopers, or was. She's retired now, but and she just gives me anything I need to know. Or sometimes you can watch a movie and you can entertain yourself and get some research at the same time. And then sometimes like I'll be midway through a book and I'm like, I got to figure this out. Maybe it'll be like a ballistics thing, or I know quite a bit about guns, but because I'm a gun owner, but there are guns that I don't know about, so like I have to research those. So all of the above, Frank. And you can still write in the dark while you're writing. I think it was Robert Parker who used to say, like, when he had to research something, like he had that one book that was set like in Civil War or set in Ireland during the 70s when they were fighting the English, and he only read one book about it. He said he never wanted to over research stuff. The Heinlein rule. I struggle with finishing what I start. This is Big Philly. I'm always distracted by the next idea, like it's a mistress. how do you stay focused to finish? I would say um, you got to go by that rule. Um, Finish what you start, right? That's one of Heinlein's rules. And you just got to do it. Like, keep a running list of what you have, the projects you have going right now. And, you know, like just if you have ideas for it, you can always write ideas next to it or whatever. But don't start it. Don't make the mistake that I've done a bunch of times. But don't start the project until the first one's done because actually writing several projects at once, it'll actually prolong the time it takes you to finish all of them. Because like I freelance too, so sometimes it's bad enough that um, I might have to write a 750 word article in the morning and then hit the fiction, and write another 2,000 words. So that to me is like bad enough. That's like the most I want to do. But like all winter, I was writing like two fiction pieces and doing the articles and stuff like that, and it was too much. By all, how I'm not burned out at this point, I have no idea. I think it's because I find it so much fun, whatever. That's helpful. You're welcome, Frank. Cool. Um, yeah, so Heinlein's rules, they are tough to, you gotta, I think the other one is like the last one is like you must publish your work and you must keep it published. But you must keep it published these days translates more into like, you got to mind your story. You got to keep your book up. You got to like constantly play with your blurb and stuff like that. And I'm thinking now of like even like doing like a special edition of the Shroud Key, maybe special edition of the Embalmer, special edition of the Innocent and Godchild. You know, why not? It's something else to offer the fans, with new covers and things like that. Frank, I have an idea fresh in my head. I try to write it as quickly as possible. Yeah, the faster I get, the faster I get it out of my brain, the faster I can work on another idea. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I have no idea. Like I'll just walk around without any ideas whatsoever. Um, you didn't hear this from me, but if you go to ChatGPT, all right, I'm ducking. Beer bottle's going to be thrown at me. If you go to ChatGPT and just say like, "You got any good hard-boiled fiction ideas?" It'll give you a list. It'll be a very general list, but it's enough to like spark your imagination. So what the fuck? This is the world we live in now. Why not use it, right? I'm using artificial intelligence to copy edit my work now, and I just spoke with my publisher, and they're like, "We haven't needed to bring in an independent copy editor for the past few books. Your work's been so clean." And I'm like, "That's because I'm using IA. Told you I was dyslexic." Um, so that surprised me. I was like, "Wow." And have you noticed, like a lot of traditionally published books these days, mistakes all over the place, all over the place. What else we got? Vince, I hesitate to. This is Big Phil again. I hesitate to submit my traditional to any traditional market because it seems all New York publishers are woke. No wokeness in indie. Yeah, you're gonna run into that shit, unfortunately. And that's something I didn't even think about really, because I just hate thinking about it. Period. I'm trying to put it out of my mind. These crazy lunatics, but um, yeah, then just go indie. Just fuck it, do what I do, and unless you're, unless you're, if you're not already committed to a publisher or whatever, then just get it out there and build your list. I got like I think I have like 68 products under Bear Media right now, and every single one of them. So I mentioned this yesterday. Every single one of them sold this month. Some of them sold only one. Some of them sold in KU. Were read out in KU. Um, Others sold in audio. Others sold, not many, but others sold as paperbacks. Some of them sold like 56 copies. And some of them I gave away for free. I got a trick for you too. Once you have like 10 books, like do a day of freebies, just one day. And so that, because people jump on that shit, and then they maybe other people will want to buy it. You'll expand your audience a little bit, and that worked well for me this month. I think I had a good month. So, and also I'm killing it in Vela, ironically, because I was actually going to quit, and now it's really picked up really a lot. So I don't. It could be they're featuring one of my books. I don't even know about it. I haven't looked. I noticed dead genres like Western sell well on indie. I love Western crime, action, and some horror. All pulp genres I target on Kindle. Yeah, they're a buddy of mine is contracted to write westerns, and he really pushes the hell out of them. But I think he has a hard time selling them because it's just a tough genre. Young adult isn't doing that great either, I guess. What else? Christian fiction, Christian mystery, and stuff like that, and that's like dead in the water. But if you go indie with it, I think you could do much better, because especially if you have like a group of subscribers, who will pretty much try anything that you write. It's all a matter of how you advertise it and how you push it on, how you market it. I think you could write the word spit 60,000 times and somebody's going to buy it if you push it the right way and market it the right way. Vince, who do you think are the best thriller writers to read in order to hear the genre? Learn the genre. Oh, okay. My favorite, let's see, besides me, let me hang on a second. Let me get I'll take some stuff off the wall here and show you. Where's Charlie's book? Hang on. Last good kiss. Here it is. All right, sorry it's taking me so long, but I wanted to have props. I didn't expect this question. Okay, so Joe Lansdale, one of the very best. This I read as a writing student. He's just killer. And I believe my old agent represented him while I was there. I never met him, but Charlie Houston, I think, is one of the best. Unfortunately, he does mostly comics now or whatever, while he's banging his actress wife out in LA. Good for him. I'm jealous. The Mick, Big Philly, and Frank, you'd be into this. Mickey Spillane. My books take a lot from Mickey Spillane. And, talk about not woke. The greatest ever. Charlie Houston. No. Well, yeah, Charlie's great. The greatest ever, Jim Crumley. I think the whole reason why I went with the hard-boiled detective genre to begin with was because of Jim Crumley, and in particular this novel, The Last Good Kiss. I think the first sentence is something like, you know, I was drinking the heart out of a beautiful sunny afternoon or something like that. Let's see how even remotely close I am. I've only read it like 7 times. When I finally caught up with Abraham Traherne, he was drinking a beer with an alcoholic bulldog named Fireball Roberts in a ramshackle joint just outside of Sonoma, California. Drinking the heart right out of a fine spring afternoon. All right, so I got like a bit of it right. Anyway, that's awesome. Actually, now that I read this, um, because these are like road books. Um, it's kind of reminiscent of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, isn't it? That first sentence. Because the first sentence, Fear and Loathing, is like by the time we reached, by the time we reached, whatever, I forget the town in California. The drugs were already taking effect, or whatever. Anyway, those are just some of the greats. Robert B. Parker, I read all of his stuff. Geez, what else? In terms of story structure for short stories and stuff like that, and I worked with her at Breadloaf. Amy Hempel was a big influence. Tim O'Brien was a big influence, and I worked with him at Breadloaf too. He was crazy, man. First thing he asked me, he's like, "You got any cocaine?" I'm like, I don't. Sorry. Trying to think who else maybe. Bunch of overrated ones too, but anyway, that should give you an idea. If you stick to those few right there, I mean, you're gonna, get with the best. You'll learn a lot. Retired old boomers have KU and devour westerns because they miss it from their youth. Yeah, I bet they do. And KU is affordable on their fixed income. Yeah, for sure. Um, don't keep all your books in KU though. You want run through it and then make them. You got to make a buck. And to be honest, like if people read your full book in KU, you're only getting like half the cost of the book, I think, at most. So keep it in KU for a little bit and then pull it out and then put it back in again if you feel as though you need to do some promos and stuff like that. Love Spillane, yeah, me too. I love Amy Hempel because I also love Ray Carver and Chekhov. Yeah, Amy and I used to talk about Ray Carver because she knew him really well. We obviously didn't know Chekhov, but and I remember she used to later on at the New York State Writers Institute when I did like a summer program in '92 maybe because I did Breadloaf in '91, and she came to me and she's like, "Oh, you're the one who loves Ray Carver," and Ray was dead by then. He died in '88. But yeah, that book of short stories of his is a killer. I don't have it here with me. It's boxed up probably. I got like 1,000 books at my mother's house, boxed and stored because I've been moving around. And I just take some of the books like I'd like to read 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 times with me. Even though I probably have that on Kindle too. But all right, any more questions? I sparsely attended an AMA today, but I didn't really publicize it, but we got some great company. I think you two guys have become my friends for sure, and it's too bad we don't live close to one another because then we could like all get together and have a little workshop or just a few beers and talk trade. One day when I get the right setup, I'll have you guys on, talk about your writer's life. All right, we're going on the half an hour. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Anybody doing anything special? This is my last full weekend in town before I leave. Let's see. You too, you guys. All right, you guys. Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Big Philly. Love the channel, he says. And have a good weekend, Big Philly. All right, you guys. Tomorrow's your birthday. Hanging with my kids. All right, Big Philly. Happy birthday. I will talk to you guys. If not tomorrow, because tomorrow's Saturday. I'll only come around if there's a Black Swan event or something, if we invade China. If not, then I'll talk to you on Sunday. God willing. Ciao, ciao.